I read it and I went, yeah, this is, I could really get my teeth into this. I liked it because I really liked the idea that it was period. I hadn't done anything period before. The aesthetic of that time really appeals to me. In fact, the aesthetic of any time that is not contemporary appeals to me. So I sort of, look forward to getting into that. It's a love story. I'm always seduced by love stories. It was a very original love story. I liked the idea that that the obstacle was that they didn't speak the same language. They couldn't speak each other's language. Normandy is actually, like England, really. It's exactly the same feel to it. And all the sort of flowers that we used, the sort of details are it's all in the detail. It's all in the detail of the type of rose that you put in the vase. It can't be a modern tinted rose. It has to be one of those lovely old-fashioned falling apart kind of roses. The field that we use where Marie collects the food for the geese. Actually it's not cow parsley, but it sort of has that field of just just weeds gone wild. We were obviously concerned about the endless gum trees in Western Australia and how we were going to avoid them, but we had a bit of a budget for some CGI, so we had enough to sort of kill the obvious gum trees, and we just avoided them when we were shooting. There was, where we shot the farmhouse, all around us were small little suburban houses, and there was really only one way that we could shoot that gave us this sort of French valley. The casting was absolutely fundamental to the success or failure of this piece, as it always is, really, particularly when it depends on the appeal of your two leads. And that to me is sort of a no-brainer. It's just, if you're going to have leads, they just have to have an innate appeal. And of course that's very subjective. What I find appealing is not, going to be everybody's cup of tea. We got really close to casting it here, but in the end it was just so important that she was authentically French. And it's rather like me coming here as an actress. It was really an obstacle. It didn't matter, what I did with the accent. I was just English. There's just something that is innately what you are. And in the end, we just needed someone who was innately French. And so in the end, we cast out of France. And we saw we had French casting woman who put up a number of names and faces, and we spoke to them, auditioned them, and Marie did a fabulous audition, really wanted the role, and no regrets. She's fabulous. I knew that she was very passionate about performing as an actress, and she's so funny that she's got very much cast as this effervescent host, but she was originally an actress, and that's what she started her game as, and she's diversified obviously, as we all have to do. And I knew she spoke French, so it was just a case of whether she could convincingly, when she takes off the red lippy and all the other bits, that she just became this French woman, this country peasant. But there's something very old-fashioned about Dan Spielman, and I I think that's what the challenge was in finding the right actor, that he had almost an old-fashioned charm about him, and he has a bit of sort of Jimmy Stewart and a bit of Burt Lancaster about him. With the actors that you don't know, one has there's a bit of a mutual respect, I think, that is probably lost when it's your bloody husband who's telling you to get lost, that he's not going to do it that way or whatever. But he's amazingly okay, actually, when it comes to me trying to get him to do something different from what he wants. I we did some ADR the other day, and he clearly needed a drink of water, and he wouldn't have one. And I went, how am I going to deal with this one? have a bloody drink of water, we can hear it. Anyway, so sometimes he puts his foot down and just gets all stubborn, but mostly he's pretty good.